Welcome back, everyone. We've headed out to Seashell Mansion. Now, I noted you could skip the last episode because it was dealing with the colour dungeon. Come back and watch the walkthrough anytime you want to go there. Our objective today is to head out towards Animal Village because that's the only way to get out to the Yarna Desert. If you did skip the episode, you'll note I have the blue mail, which doubles our defence. From Seashell Mansion, head around to the south and go into this little pathway. Avoid the piranhas in here and note the heart piece in the deep water. We'll get that later, but head up the stairs. We have a couple of things we can do. If you want, we'll head around to the ancient ruins, because there are secret seashells we can get. We have 23, and there's a reason... Okay, I actually managed to transform the Zero into a fairy by using the magic powder on it. That's a thing. Head out this way for the ancient ruins and a couple of secret seashells, along with some exposition.
There are 2 shrines, one to the north, the other to the south. First head south where ancient ruins speak of the windfish. You will learn much there.
We are actually not supposed to go there just yet. So, I won't trouble you with that. We will just get what we came here for, the secret seashells. One of them is up here in that lone boulder in the corner. Lift it. And there we go, that makes 24. We will have to navigate the ruins, but we have the bow. This is necessary for defeating Armos. You can use bombs as well. Zols and gels also pop up. If you want to knock the Armos out of your way, you can do so with your sword or shield. Having a piece of power increases the knockback too, which is very handy. But you will have to deal with lots of Zols getting in your way. Come to this formation and activate this Armos. There's the staircase we want. And of course, a secret seashell is in the cave. In the original game, when you had acquired 20 secret seashells and gained the ultimate reward, which was the level 2 sword, then other secret seashells would transform into rupees. I believe they just left 20 rupees behind. Make your way back through the area. Armos very kindly leave 1 arrow behind. A bit paltry, but it saves you costs. We want to go back to the south of that passage we encountered. Avoid the enemies, and if you want, use your Pegasus boots to speed things up, and notice how the Zeros still manage to dash out of the way. Head along to the south here and you will see Animal Village and a heart piece. But don't go in just yet. Rather, I want to bring you around to the south here and defeat those stupid bugs hiding under the bushes. And boulders for that matter. Thankfully, you can hit Zeros with rocks, and it's very satisfying. Sneak around past the buzz blobs. Now, those crates can be destroyed, but you'll need to latch onto them with a certain item in order to get to the mermaid statue.
Secrets are like water when it comes to bridges.
I'll give you some advice about that after we dig up the secret seashell right here. That bridge. This will be important later on. Avoid the barrage of enemies now and head back to Animal Village. This is a particularly important area. On such a nice day, we need a song from Marin. There are some important houses to note around here. This is the house of the artist Shul Donovich. He is responsible for creating that mermaid statue, and currently he's trying to paint a hippo model, who was subject to censorship in the international releases, but there was a compromise for this. Yeah, I am Shul Donovich. The mermaid statue by the bay is my masterpiece. To tell you the truth, that work is not complete. The art, it's difficult for you to grasp, is it not? Once again, apologies for the really bad accent. If we head into here, we will be able to talk to a goat, who will tell us off. You don't know the proper etiquette when dealing with a lady, do you? You should have brought flowers or something, then I might be more inclined to talk with you. Oh yes, in my case, hibiscus at best. Keep that in mind, because that's part of the trading sequence. I can actually tell you that because we will be getting to that shortly. This house on the end here is empty, but you will note the seashell sensor went off in Christine's house and in this one. There are seashells, but we can't get them just yet. What we can do is go into this house. Talk to the chef bear.
Hey ho! Hey you, is that possibly a honeycomb you have? I just ran out. Will you swap it for a pineapple?
So that's the next item in the trading sequence.
Hey ho! Yeah, I know, that tub of goo is asleep right in the way to Yarna Desert. Once he's asleep, he won't budge for a long time. But hey, take little Marin and wake him up with her singing. That slop would wake up with a jump if he heard her sing for sure.
So that's a clue about what to do. If you head down here, there's a warp point. This was one of the original warp points. But I want you to head down here so we can A, see where the walrus is, B, observe some green apples which heal us for a bit more, as the instruction will actually show us. Thankfully, it doesn't tell us this each time because we can just grab the apple and Link will happily munch on it. So there's our walrus and the seashell sensor is going off, but we'll get to that later. What we can do here is navigate our way around the edge of the village. Keep this cave in mind, we can't do anything in there just yet, but we can run over to get this. And that brings us to 10 hearts. We have 16 heart pieces, half the total heart pieces in the game. Go back to that warp point now. We need to get back to Mabe Village to talk to Marin. We can't do much with the trading sequence just yet, but we will be able to soon. Head on here and let's walk to Ukuku Prairie. So let's go find Marin. Shouldn't be too hard. So she's not by the rooster statue. Not in their house. But we can put the Goomba figure there. So where could Marin be? Well, if you want to know, she is in a secret spot I mentioned. Way back in the second episode, we dug up a secret seashell there. You'll recognise it by the log that makes a bench between two palm trees. So off to the Toronto shores we go. Beautiful day for walking on the beach, but then again I don't think it's not a beautiful day on Koholint Island. Also, keep that cave there in mind. That will be handy later on. come around here and let's talk to Marin. Oh, Link, I'm glad you found this place. Will you stay and talk to me for a while? I wonder where these coconut trees come from. Taryn says there is nothing beyond the sea. But I believe there must be something over there. When I discovered you, Link, my heart skipped a beat. I thought, this person has come to give us a message. Ladies and gentlemen, Link, the great conversationalist. If I was a seagull, I would fly as far as I could. I would fly to faraway places and sing for many people. Can't exactly say I associate seagulls with singing, but you do you. If I wish to the windfish, I wonder if my dream will come true. Probably a pretty rotten dream if I'm going to be honest. Seagulls aren't held in that high esteem here. Also, they appear to just sort of be hovering in the one spot. Hey, are you listening? Link, are you listening to me? Marin, he actually is listening, but unfortunately he's contractually obliged to not actually say anything. He might make the occasional grunt, but then again, it's pretty easy to do that without speaking. If he actually does get to say anything, they'll cut his tongue out. He's a good listener, though. I want to know everything about you. You're in, man. You're in. Huh? The walrus wants me to go to him. Well, alright, let's go. And we get Marin. Link also gets a look up her dress. Way to go, hero. Cue a distinct version of the theme. Now this little promontory is important. I believe you can get a photo here in the DX version, but it does trigger a special scene. This is my first walk with you, Link. This cliff will be our secret place. Yes, the world's smallest cliff. Aren't you going to say anything? I told you! He's contractually obliged not to say anything. If I'm going to be honest, I really don't like the whole silent protagonist thing. It does get a bit annoying after a while. It's sort of an easy way to skimp on character development, honestly. Now, some games do actually show it quite well. Super Metroid is a great demonstration of how you show the development of a game and everything that happens rather than telling. But it is nice to have a bit of extra personality and character to it. All that aside, we can warp to Animal Village. Marin will come along with us, thankfully. So let's continue our leisurely walk. Won't be long until we have to part, unfortunately, but we've made it to a Cuckoo Prairie, we'll get some money, and off we go to Animal Village. These warp holes travelled in order. There is one up in Telltale Heights that we haven't accessed yet. It would go from the one outside to Mabe Village at a Cuckoo Prairie, to Telltale Heights, to Animal Village, and one more that I'm not telling you where it is until we actually get there. So on we go, and we can speak to the walrus. Yes, it's that lazy walrus. Should we give him a little surprise? And for some reason the walrus flings himself into the waters. Wow, he certainly woke with a start. And a rabbit will turn up. Huh? Oh, he's calling me. It's the same as always. Link, I'm going to the animal village. Please drop by, okay? Now, let's get out our ocarina. If you play the Ballad of the Windfish. Alright, so you actually have to go into Yarna Desert to do it? Yep. But that is actually a well-hidden seashell that I've probably inadvertently spoiled. But if you play the Ballad of the Windfish there after you've done certain things, perhaps left the area and come back in, the walrus will give you a secret seashell. It's really well hidden, it took me a while to find it. This is the Yarna Desert, complete with palm trees and pokies. If you want to defeat pokies easily, use a spin attack. That will defeat them instantly, rather than having their segments ricocheting around. Don't head up there just yet, unless you want to get involved in a battle. We have a bit of digging to do. The seashell sensor has gone off. Set our shovel and talk to the owl.
Sea bears foam, sleep bears dreams. Both end in the same way. Crash!
Righto. Bit cryptic. But there's a secret seashell right there. That brings us to 27. Doing fairly well overall. If we head down here, there's another one we can pick up. We are in the most southeastern corner of Koholint Island. In fact, let's check the map, because we have new areas. Okay, I didn't realise I hadn't checked the map. But, as you can see, when you do, then everything will actually be revealed. Each area you've been to will be visited. If you'll zoom in, you'll notice that there are areas which are drawn in. The map starts out very vague, as if it's been given to you as just a basic outline of the island. Link fills it in as he goes, or at least it seems to be implied that's the case. I apologise for not showing you that little detail earlier. However, I did remember the little secret at the beach with Marin because I kept forgetting it the last 2 times I recorded. Time to go into here, and let's have a battle.
Annoyance. You're only getting in the way.
Players of A Link to the Past might recognise. This is a Lanmola, with a fancy propeller tail. Combat this, like you did the ones in Link's Awakening. Thankfully, you don't have to worry about the rocks popping out of the ground. Don't leave the area, or you'll have to start all over again. And let's see, where is it? Another hit should get it, but don't fall down the centre of the arena. I will show you why you don't really want to do that once we defeat this thing. Being a little uncooperative. And we've got it, just as it poked its head out. Very quickly, grab the angler key. Interestingly, in the original version, Link kept sliding along with the quicksand while he held the key up. But now's the time to fall down. Because of course we wind up in a cave. Bomb the wall. And there's another heart piece. That gives us 17. We're going at a very good clip. So, we can head out of the Yarna Desert. We've done everything we need to. Set your ocarina. And keep the levers off your back as you go. Don't walk into those cacti or you will be hurt. We can safely make our way out. And now. So there we are. That is how you get this particular secret seashell. Very well hidden. But walk a couple of steps and it is time for exposition with the owl.
The shape of the key shows a fish swimming up a cascade of water. Go now to the mountain waterfall. Leap from the top and you will reach your goal.
So we'll wrap things up by actually unlocking the next dungeon. The fastest way at the moment is to warp to Dampé's shack because I haven't actually taken you through Telltale Heights. If you like, stop off and listen to Marin. But for now, head to the warp point. The fast travel options have been improved drastically. So here we are, maneuver past the entrance to Mount Tamaranch. Get the pig warriors out of your way, lift the rocks, and don't go up any of the ladders here. Instead, work past these guys. You want to keep that waterfall in mind. I will tell you why later on. Oh, 5 rupees. So we have a little bit to do in this area. Also worth noting, Pegasus Boots charges do double damage. There's our lock there. If you head down there, you'll be going into water, so don't. Defeat the Tektites, avoid the Zeros, and keep that area in mind. We'll get to that eventually. Trigger this warp point. We don't want to warp though. What we want to do is grab our bombs, because this is a very well hidden secret seashell. Lift that, land a shot, and that should give us 30 secret seashells, which opens up the next reward. Now this passage we can't go down. There's a boulder in the way. We won't be able to get through there. But, a couple of things to do. Head over to unlock that keyhole. And then we'll go to Seashell Mansion to wrap things up. The waterfall stops flowing to reveal a slightly freaky looking fish face. I think it's meant to be Azora's face, but just the positioning of the eyes makes it look really weird. Anyway, with that done, let's quickly scurry over to Seashell Mansion via our warp point. We do indeed have exactly 30, so let's pick up the rewards to wrap the episode. This one's a bit of a long one, but it's good for adventuring. So there we are, 30 exactly, and our third reward. We are 10 away from the ultimate sword. And it's a chamber stone. So if you want to take on some of Dampé's challenges, that's a good way to do it. I think we'll leave things here. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on our adventure through Koholint Island. I will be meeting you back in Telltale Heights.